Hey, good afternoon, friends and family. We are out here in Peralta Canyon. It's middle of June right now, a blistery 106 degrees. Yikes. But I'm out here to address a little bit of graffiti I saw about a month ago. I came out here with a couple of buddies, Hayden and John, who were interested in summiting Weaver's Needle. So we knocked that out. And I noticed a couple of places where I saw some graffiti. So I thought it might make sense to talk about what it takes to remove graffiti, specifically on porous rock like this. And I'm sure it'll help some other people who are interested in cleaning up their own hiking trails and or maybe the brick wall behind your house or anything else that you have spray paint on that would be considered a porous surface. Damn, it's hot. Let's go. Man, it's hot. Oh, geez. But here we are. This is a really cool spot on the Peralta Trail. The product that I'm using is called Elephant Snot. It's from a company called Graffiti Solutions. It's biodegradable and it works really well. The process is super simple. If you're trying to get rid of graffiti on anything porous, this is a great product. So the process is you paint on the elephant snot and let it sit for 20 or 30 minutes. We'll let that soak in for a little bit. We'll scrub it off with a wire brush. And then I brought 2 gallons of water. There's a bit of a haze that gets created as you scrub this off, and you really need to wash all of the material off the wall. So it's one of the problems with graffiti deep in the wilderness. It's so hard to get off. This is a designated wilderness area, which means I cannot bring a pressure washer up here without approval. And that's because designated wilderness areas have a set of rules that are much different than, other types of land areas, like just a national forest in general. In this case, you can't have anything motorized. And that includes a pressure washer. If you want to bring a pressure washer into a designated wilderness area, you've got to fill out a form. And let me tell you, it's 32 pages long. The government. Once you're done, I have a soft brush that I use to really wash off the area and get it as clean as you can possibly get it. And on my way back down, if I see any haze left over, I'll just repeat the process. But I'm pretty confident this will come right off. I don't know if you can see this, but it does leave a bit of a gray paste. So that's why you need a lot of water. You really have to wash this off. Again, it is biodegradable and there's no odor or anything, but you got to get that off. Otherwise it's going to dry and there'll be this big gray smudge here. So let me give it a good wash and we'll head up the trail to the next graffiti spot and we'll come back down and see how this looks. Looks good now. Let's see what it looks like after it dries. I don't know, we'll have to take a look. I can definitely see some shadows there of that graffiti, so I did not get it all off. I'll have to come back and do it a second time. This is one of the reasons why graffitiing in the wilderness is got such a real shitty thing to do, man. It's really difficult to remove, and I mean, this is our shared land, so anybody that is graffitiing, it's like they might as well be spray painting your garage door, you know what I mean? I love hiking out here, and I love this area, and I think we should all take care of it. The reason why it's so cool is because it looks so untouched other than the trail. I mean, who wants to see bags of dog crap and trash and empty water bottles and spray paint all over the place? Nobody. So if you do plan to remove graffiti on your local hiking trail, be sure you check with whoever the land manager is, whether it's a city park or a county park or a national forest, or in this case, a designated wilderness area. Make sure you get permission first. Some places have very strict rules on what you can and can't do, and a designated wilderness area is one of the strictest. So I do have permission to remove this graffiti. I'm following a protocol. Even when you're trying to do the right thing, you still want to make sure you're following the rules. By the way, this plant right here that you see from time to time is an agave, an American agave, or agave americana, I think they call it. What's cool about it is it only flowers one time. After it flowers, which is really pretty out here in this stark, mostly brown wilderness, seeing a splash of color is just really cool. But what's cool about it is as soon as it flowers, it dies after this, and it only flowers one time. Some people refer to it as a century plant, which is kind of interesting because that sort of implies that it lives to be 100 years, and it doesn't. It actually, I think I remember reading that it only lives 10 to 30 years, flowers one time, and that's it. So if you ever get a chance to see one, enjoy it, because that's the only time that plant's gonna flower. And it's the last time you're gonna see it alive, probably. Pretty cool, huh? All right, that looks great, huh? So Sharpie is no match for the Elephant Snot. Spray paint, depending on how thick and what kind, might take a few applications. Again, don't forget you need a lot of water and a soft brush to scrub off the mess that you're gonna make when you wire brush the paint off. So I've talked about it on a bunch of my videos. It's literally one of my pet peeves. So I don't know, I'm not just talking about it. I feel obligated to do something about it whenever I can, and I'm hiking anyway, so if I'm gonna hike, I might as well pick up a bag of dog crap when I see it, and a little bit of trash when I see it. And if everybody does the same thing, then we can keep the wilderness looking as pristine and wild as our grandparents saw it, I mean, after all, that's why we all come out here, is to be able to be a part of such a beautiful, untouched area. Other than the trail itself and footprints, it's nice to keep the wilderness as wild as possible. If we all chip in, we can make that happen. All right, that's it. I'm heading back to the car. I've got a couple of backpacking trips planned in the coming months in cooler temperatures, so stay tuned and we'll see you next time. Take care.